Hi all, this is going to be the third lecture on summary of few short learning, and this video is going to about what is meta learning. So meta learning is very much related to the concept of learning to learn. So what is learning to learn? It is motivated by a human, and the way human learns the different skills. So last video I told you about that person who can learn, who already know the skill of riding a bicycle, can easily transform that skill into, if he don't know how to ride a motorcycle, he can learn the motorcycle fast, uh, who knows to ride the bicycle, in comparison to the person who don't know to ride the bicycle. So how does this kind of human learning theory can be adapted for the machine learning? So that way of bringing out that kind of ability to machine is called as learning to learn. So this is something, in formally we can say that we can learn to learn the priors from different tasks, and that learned priors can be applied in an efficiently in a new task. So for example, understanding to learn a classification task, which by exposing to a large, having a large data, and at the same time that experience can be utilized to learn a new classification task which has a very few example data. So it has a two levels. First, learning within task which has a large particular data set. Then that learned ability can be utilized gradually across the task, which captures the way that the task structures can be used across the different target domains, which we will discuss about this terminology in the later part of the lecture series. So this ability of this meta learning, learning to learn, which is related to the human development theory, is not only of meta learning, but there are other related theory called like transfer learning, multitask learning, or ensemble learning. So what is transfer learning? Transfer learning is like a source task. We have a source, single source task and single source domain where sufficient training data is available. Then once that model is trained on the source task with the sufficient source domain, then that transferred skill or transferred experience is helpful to learn a target task in a target domain. That target domain might have less information in comparison to the source task. Similarly, multitask learning involves learning different different heterogeneous tasks simultaneously. So it starts like a in many tasks are there which starts with no experience, but trying to solve all these heterogeneous multiple tasks at the same time. Ensemble learning is a different concept. We put a multiple models into a for a single task, so that each task could be able to adapt and contribute for a particular segment, and so that the overall learning skill can be much better than putting a single model to for a particular task. And to summarize, what is meta learning is, multiple learning is try to gather the experience across the multiple similar tasks and then use that experience to solve the new task. The very good example is riding a bicycle, then learning that experience to ride motorcycles. But however, this cannot be have like kind of hard separations. This can be that can be overlapping between these different different concept of human development theory, and there can be a technique which can combine all these tasks in a proper structured way along with the meta learning systems. So in hopefully in the next video we'll give you about what is formal definitions about the meta learning in terms of uh, machine learning structure, in the way of how we put the meta learning in a formal way, way like kind of utilizing the terminology utilizing the machine learning society. Thank you.